Look, I have had the news of Trent Taylor officially retiring from the NFL on my mind all week. The former Chicago Bears receiver and 7-year veteran announced via Instagram that he is hanging up his cleats for good after spending his final season on the 49ers injured reserve list. It is always a strange feeling to see a guy who grinded through the league for that long finally walk away from the game for good. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Hit like, subscribe, and comment your name and city below. Let's get into it. Former wide receiver Trent Taylor has officially announced his retirement from the NFL after 7 seasons, marking the end of a long professional journey that included a meaningful stint with the Chicago Bears. Taylor, who most recently played for the San Francisco 49ers in 2024 and spent the 2025 season on injured reserve, shared the news via an Instagram post earlier today, July 15th, 2026. For those of us who followed his time in the Windy City, seeing a player of his caliber step away at age 32 brings back memories of the grit he brought to the field during his tenure here. He entered the league as a 5th-round draft pick out of Louisiana Tech in 2017 and eventually made his way to Chicago, where he provided reliable depth and a veteran presence that fans truly respected for his work ethic. Across his career, Taylor recorded 88 receptions for 845 yards and 3 touchdowns over 80 total games, with his most productive output occurring during his rookie campaign. The emotional reaction among our fan base is one of deep appreciation for his contributions and the professional way he handled his exit, noting that the game taught him everything about adversity and friendship. Here is where it gets interesting, as we have to look past the gratitude expressed by his former teammates like Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle to examine the roster implications. While his retirement is a classy conclusion to a respected career, we are left wondering how the current front office and Ben Johnson plan to fill the specific void in veteran leadership he leaves behind. If we are no longer relying on that steady, seasoned experience in the secondary rotation, what specific young talent is actually ready to step up and claim those crucial snaps when the season kicks off? Trent Taylor has officially retired from the NFL at age 32, closing the book on a 7-year journey that included a notable stint in a Chicago uniform. It is a sobering reminder of how quickly the professional landscape shifts for even the most reliable contributors. Taylor, who spent the entire 2025 season on the San Francisco 49ers injured reserve list with an undisclosed ailment, clearly realized that his body could no longer handle the rigorous demands of the league. Looking back at his career arc, he entered the NFL as a 5th-round pick out of Louisiana Tech in 2017, putting up solid numbers early on, including 43 receptions for 430 yards and 2 touchdowns during his impressive rookie campaign. While his time in Chicago was brief, veteran fans remember him as a player who understood the value of grit and preparation. The bottom line here is that professional football is a brutal business that eventually catches up to everyone, regardless of their work ethic or deep personal connections built in locker rooms. Behind closed doors at Hollis Hall, our front office and coaching staff under Ben Johnson operate with a cold, analytical perspective, viewing such retirements as a natural clearing of space that allows them to prioritize younger, more durable assets for the upcoming roster cycle. Seeing a player like Taylor step away makes us reflect on the fleeting nature of these careers. We have seen similar veteran departures over the years where talent is eventually eclipsed by the constant march of time and physical toll. His final career totals of 88 receptions for 845 yards and 3 touchdowns over 80 games stand as a testament to his perseverance through the dog days of the season, reminding us all that even the smaller roles contribute to the grand story of this historic franchise. We are waking up to news today that former Chicago Bears receiver Trent Taylor has officially announced his retirement after 7 seasons in the NFL. While Taylor's time in Chicago was brief, his decision to step away at age 32 serves as a poignant reminder of the physical toll this profession demands from these athletes. What makes this even bigger for our organization is how it highlights the constant evolution of our wide receiver room under the leadership of head coach Ben Johnson. As we look at the current depth chart, the departure of a veteran presence like Taylor emphasizes that we are leaning heavily into our younger core to produce results this year. This roster shift means that every snap previously occupied by experienced role players must now be claimed by our developing talents during training camp. With the schedule looming, we need our young guys to step up immediately, especially when we face off against the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers later this fall. The margin for error in the North is razor thin, and having reliable depth is the primary difference between a postseason berth and watching from the sidelines. Taylor finished his career with 88 receptions for 845 yards and 3 touchdowns. But his real value to us now is the opportunity he leaves behind for someone else to prove their worth. We cannot afford to have any weaknesses in our passing attack if we want to challenge for the division title this season. Watching these younger players battle for those vacated spots will be a defining theme of our summer preparation. We expect total commitment from this squad as we prepare for the challenges ahead, knowing that every single roster spot is vital toward achieving our ultimate goal of winning a championship for this city. We have some somber news to process today as wide receiver Trent Taylor officially announced his retirement from the NFL at age 32 after 7 seasons. The upside of this news is really about the closure it brings to a career that showcased true resilience through his time with the Chicago Bears, the Cincinnati Bengals, and his original team, the San Francisco 49ers. He managed to play in 80 games, leaving behind 88 receptions for 845 yards and 3 touchdowns, which is a testament to the grit required to stick around this league for so long. However, the downside is the loss of a veteran presence who understood the professional grind, especially considering he spent the 2025 season on injured reserve before finally deciding to hang up the cleats. And this is the part that gets me, because when you look at how his former teammates like Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and Kendrick Bourne reacted on social media, you realize the deep respect he earned across the locker room. While Zach Mentz of Cleveland.com highlights these heartfelt tributes, some might wonder if his production was enough to be missed. Yet I think that misses the point entirely. Here is where I land on this. While some analysts might label him just a depth piece, I believe his veteran mindset provided a quiet foundation for younger players that does not show up in the box score stats. It is easy to look at the numbers and write a player off as replaceable, but the human element of football is what truly defines a team culture. We should appreciate the effort he gave us during his tenure in Chicago, as those seasons were defined by players who fought through significant adversity to keep us competitive regardless of the final scoreboard results. As we look at the legacy of players like Trent Taylor, who officially announced his retirement this week after 7 seasons, we are reminded that the NFL is a league of constant transition. While Taylor spent his time across multiple organizations, including our Chicago Bears, his departure signifies the natural shifting of the guard that every franchise must navigate to remain competitive. For us as Chicago Bears fans, this news serves as a broader reflection of our commitment to building a sustainable roster under the leadership of Ben Johnson. Here's the thing nobody wants to say. While a role player retiring does not shift our Super Bowl odds, it underscores the importance of valuing veteran presence in a locker room that is being molded for the future. You should feel a sense of respect for his career, as those 80 games played and 845 career yards are a testament to the grinding work required to simply survive in this league. His journey reminds us that every roster spot is earned through blood, sweat, and tears. And our team is currently in a phase where we are identifying the right kind of character-driven talent to carry our colors forward. We are focused on long-term growth, and seeing peers of our former players step away should sharpen our appreciation for the current men wearing the navy and orange. With Taylor now hanging up the cleats, I have to ask, do you believe our current wide receiver core has enough veteran leadership to navigate the challenges of this upcoming season? Or do we still need to add more experience through the waiver wire? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Bear down, I'll see you in the next one.